OnlyFacts Sports, episode 23, OnlyFacts Sports
Right,
podcast.
my man just done it out of the blue, but yeah, I hear that. You know, one day, yeah, I don't know what camera to look at, because when I'm editing, sometimes I look at different cameras. You know, one day, we're gonna just do behind the scenes content. Like we need when we get rich, yeah, we just need the OnlyFacts vlogs where someone can just vlog us.
We shoot this in my apartment, and some of the man in the comments, like especially the angry racist white men in the last video, like some of them are bums, innit? So I don't want them to know where I live. I don't want them to get jealous and see like a nice apartment and start to get upset, pull their hair out, all that kind of thing.
No, but obviously for them, black people have to accept white culture to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
You have to. You're benefiting from the white British culture, you know.
It's true. That is true. Yeah.
Digging out the white gal and them things. There.
that is very true.
Teeth in their gal and them with them.
Very, very true.
Because let's keep it real, bro. 5 white gal in the room, you and a white man. He's gonna end up with the most gal.
Well, by my, I mean, you know, white guys get gal as well, but these men are just angry on the comments.
Oh, I'm talking about
them man ain't drawing no gal. But it's here. We are fine. We've made it here, man. This time has come around kind of quick for the biggest fight of the year.
Sorry, let me just put it out there.
Hey, yo.
Wife. But let me just say this, yeah. Some of you guys are watching this and you're from America. So you'd be thinking, what are these guys talking about? There's a lot of racial tension going on right now. So if you've clicked on the video to watch Canelo and Crawford, we're going to get to the racial tension in that fight. We're going to get to
there's racial tension everywhere. And it's mad because there's a saying in Britain, for the Americans that don't know, that Britain is generally 10 to 15 years behind America. Do you mean that's been a saying? I don't know if you've heard that, but that's been a saying pretty much my whole life. In terms of,
I find that quite ironic, isn't it?
It is very ironic that we gave birth to them, and now they're.
Facts,
I mean, but it is what it is. But yeah, so you know, obviously they had Trump, and now we've got Farage, Trump light. Do you know what I mean? So there's racial tension over there. There's racial tension here. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. But on OnlyFacts Sports, so long as you're cool, I'm cool.
Facts.
If you're a dickhead, I will be a bigger dickhead.
Trust
you know what I'm saying, and that's just what it is. But we've got Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight of the year. We have Inoue, who is one of the other pound for pound stars of boxing. I mean, if you put Canelo in your top 5 pound for pound, which I don't, but that means that with Usyk kind of out of action right now, we've got like 3 of the top 5 or top 10 pound for pound fighting on the same weekend, which is huge.
Facts. And they're not fighting in fights which are like last time we saw something like this was like all gimme fights.
Yeah.
Earlier this year when
that's true.
You know, Inoue was in a gimme fight.
Well, it was actually turned out to be a good fight in the end. Cardenas, it was a good fight, but
turned out to be better than it was. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Akhmadaliev
and William Skull was barely alive.
Trust me. So
and still won on points in my opinion. But there you go.
Yeah, man. Like, what a great time to be a boxing fan. Like, people in the last couple of weeks, we've struggled to come up with boxing content.
Yeah, you know, but everything's been saved for this weekend.
Yeah, facts. And thank you for everyone who's been watching.
Thank you. Yep.
But let's keep it real. This week is what is a boxing fan's dream.
And let's just quick round of applause. Neither of these fights are in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah.
Neither of these fights in Saudi Arabia. Do you know what I mean? The fights are where's Inoue's fight?
Japan.
Vegas and Japan. Round of applause for Vegas. Round of applause for Japan. Do you know what I'm saying? Shane patting on his OnlyFacts mug. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got merch now. We're big in the game. Let's talk about this fight. We've spoken about this fight so many times, but what's wavy is there are so many angles. I've backed Canelo Crawford from the start. I'm going to stick with my backing of Crawford, but there's so many angles. There's days where I wake up and I just visualize Canelo clocking him with a right hand. Normally when he's on the move, because Crawford he moves a lot, tends to get hit while he's moving, especially early in the fight, and his balance isn't the best when he's moving, and so he can get caught off. I can see him getting knocked down in this fight. I can see him potentially having to come off the canvas to win. But then I see William Skull. Then I see Charlo. Then I see John Ryder. And I see Canelo just slowly, heavy-footed, plodding away like he's in the trenches in World War II. No legs, no hill sprints, nothing. And I just see if someone were to put on a moving performance like Skull definitely ran, I'm not saying he didn't, but that type of performance with that much movement, but with focused aggression in between, Canelo can get outclassed by a bigger, Mayweather or something like that. I don't know.
I want to disprove the myths before I actually get into the fight.
Go ahead.
So I was watching the Pain game. Shout out to the Pain game. KG was on there as well.
Yeah, shout out KG.
And there was a big misconception. And the reason why I use the Pain game is because it's not just them who's been saying it. Everybody's been saying it. They'd be like, well, Canelo's not look good in his last few fights, but Canelo's fought guys who are naturally bigger than him. Wait a minute. Munguia was a career 54. Charlo was a career 54. And Golovkin was a career 60. All of those guys were smaller than
If they
Canelo.
wanted to say that they're naturally bigger than Crawford, that would be fair. I don't know. The thing is with Canelo, though, to be fair, we don't know Canelo's natural
No, but my
size.
point is, Charlo's first fight at 68 was Canelo.
Yes.
You did not stop him.
Correct.
Munguia, I think he only had one fight at 68 up until that point, but he had only won a world title at 54.
Yeah.
So, and Golovkin had never had a fight at 68.
Yeah.
He's only had a fight at 60. So, when you say, well, he fought other guys who were bigger than Crawford, so that's why bigger than Canelo, so that's why Canelo couldn't stop him, that's false straight away. Because he didn't stop Munguia, and Munguia got knocked out in his next fight.
Well, we said this before, there's four of them, aren't there? I'm pretty sure there's four of them that Canelo did not knock out.
Who got knocked out?
All got knocked out the next fight by much lower level opposition.
Facts. Munguia, John Ryder, Belanga, and, well, Skull didn't get knocked out, but there was obviously the speculation of whether
he was dropped in sparring by Conor Benn. And the thing is, if the Canelo camp are going in thinking we're just going to knock this guy out, which I'm sure they're not because they haven't got a knockout in 4 years, but
no, don't say that. I don't say you're
but
sure.
I'm saying
they are sure they will.
Everyone's talking about him, but everyone's talking about him. What I'm saying is everyone's talking about Canelo. When they're talking about Crawford, they're saying he can move. He's a boxer puncher. He can switch hit. He can punch up. He can box off the back foot. He can box going forwards. He can stay in the pocket. And when we're talking about Canelo, all I'm hearing is he hits hard. He's bigger and he hits hard.
No, but the reason why, and I am so confident in this one statement I'm going to say.
Okay, fine.
I'm not confident in my prediction.
Yes.
But I'm confident in this statement I'm going to say. Crawford's strength is Canelo's weakness.
Yes.
Crawford's biggest strength is Canelo's weakness.
What's that biggest strength in your opinion?
His footwork. He can fight out of both stances and he can flip in and he boxes on the move.
I think also all of Crawford's strengths are Canelo's weaknesses. Because I was going to say one of his others is his intelligence. He does get caught early in fights, but he downloads data, as the saying goes, and then he grows into a fight and gets better. Canelo fights at one pace. Mm-hmm. You know, there's arguments about whether he tails off in terms of throwing punches. We spoke about Bomac's statement last week. But even if he doesn't, he fights at first gear or second gear. It's not the Canelo that fought Triple G where he moves through the gears. That person is gone. He fights at one gear, and no matter what happens, look at Bivol, for example. Bivol was doing some different stuff early, middle, and late in the fight, and Canelo was doing one thing all the way through 12 rounds.
That's why, is there a version of Canelo that beats Crawford? 100%.
Yes.
That's not the question, though.
Yeah.
Is this version of Canelo beating Crawford?
Yeah, the fight's this week.
Literally.
Yeah.
Not 4 years ago when he knocked out Caleb Plant. That version of Canelo, I agree, would stop Crawford.
Yeah.
That version of Canelo is dead.
Yeah.
If we're going, that version of Canelo that just fought William Skull, I'm sorry, it doesn't beat Crawford. Yeah. It doesn't. Canelo is going to have to roll back the years to beat Crawford.
The only difficulty that I have with this fight, and I've got on my notes here, like the referees and the culture and all the kind of stuff we're going to talk about, but with William Skull, was it his first fight with Saudi?
Yeah.
First fight with Saudi. He knew, and we knew, and you knew that he was going to win that fight. Unless Skull put him in a coma, he was going to win that fight. So how much of him not cutting off the ring is down to lack of ability cutting off the ring, and how much of him not cutting off the ring is down to, I don't even need to cut off the ring. If I land...
He didn't cut off the ring against
I understand. If you're saying that he can't do it, I'm not saying you're wrong. But I'm saying the motivation for this fight could be so different because this is a fight where he could actually lose. He couldn't lose against Skull. The judges' scorecards were already filled in before they got there.
But that's why I'm not safe in my prediction.
Yeah.
Because if I knew it was the Canelo that was fighting Skull, I would be going to the bookie right now and putting a grip of money.
Yeah, I'd sell my mum's house and put the money on.
Literally. So, but here's another myth that I wanted to disprove before I go any further.
We're doing Mythbusters.
Yeah, is the fact that, well, Crawford didn't look good against Madrimov. I want to say this so clearly and so true. Madrimov is so different to what Canelo is.
Pause. Madrimov is better than Canelo from a technical perspective. This version of Canelo, Madrimov is a better technical boxer than Canelo is.
100%. In terms of the things that he was able to, the biggest thing is Crawford, for the first time in his career, fought a guy who has as good footwork as him, has the ability to switch it like him for the first time in his entire career, ever. So
it's just a case of people not knowing or not rating Madrimov because he's not a big commercial name. He's not very well known necessarily, but you know, I mean, we can get into resumes. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is another thing. My final
another mythbuster
that I want to disprove. And during the build-up to this fight, and we've got to talk about the build-up and the significance of this fight, but during the build-up of this fight, a lot of people were saying, well, Canelo's got a better resume, and Canelo said verbatim, what elite fighter have you beaten?
Yep.
And in my opinion, they both got the same amount of elite wins. They both have the same amount, one apiece. Because when Crawford fought Spence, he was a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. When Canelo beat Golovkin, he was a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. There is no other win on Crawford nor Canelo's resume that is against a pound-for-pound fighter.
Was Danny Jacobs not at that time?
Not in the top 5 or top 10 pound-for-pound. Nope. What other pound-for-pound we talking about best in the sport, like top 10 pound-for-pound fighters is Canelo beaten? Kovalev wasn't. Kovalev wasn't even the best at 75.
Do you put any stock into him having the experience of losing to a Floyd who was top 5 pound
for
for pound?
I'm disproving Canelo's statement, which is, what elite fighter have you beaten?
So your argument is that he's beaten elite fighters but not at their peak, or that they weren't necessarily elite of the sport?
Well, who did he beat that was elite? Who did he beat? Not fought.
There are fighters that could be elite but not in the top 5 pound for pound.
Or top 10 pound for pound. Who did he fight that was elite? Who was elite?
Are you saying then, because your argument would be then that today there are only 10 elite fighters in the world?
I would argue that there's less. I would argue that there's less than 10.
Is Devin Haney an elite fighter?
No. He's not. He's a great fighter. He's not an elite fighter. Elite is like future Hall of Fame, like best in the division, arguably one of the best in the division. Elite fighters is your.
I feel like you're just disagreeing with his version of elite.
Because the reason why I don't disagree with his version of elite is because when Crawford then listed names of people, he said those people aren't elite. So then going by that standards, who would you say on? Okay, here's an open question. Canelo fans, anyone who on Canelo's resume did he beat that was elite when he fought them? I know people are going to say he fought Cotto. Cotto wasn't elite when he fought Cotto, when he beat Cotto. Who did he beat that was elite at the time he beat them?
Yeah.
That's Eric Stanley Lara wasn't elite. Austin Trout wasn't elite. Danny Jacobs wasn't elite. Golovkin was elite. I'll give him that. That was a great win. Caleb Plant wasn't elite.
And he lost the first fight in my opinion.
Billy Joe Saunders. True. Who did he beat that was elite?
Yeah.
When Crawford fought his one elite fight, which we have to say is elite because Errol Spence was better.
Rocky Fielding?
Well, he definitely wasn't elite. He destroyed Errol Spence. Destroyed Errol Spence. When you fought the one elite fighter, the 2 elite fighters that you fought was Mayweather and Bivol, you lost. Yeah. And then Golovkin, you won. And the fight that you did win, some people speculate, the elite version of Golovkin that you fought, that you didn't win.
Yeah.
You drew. And the second fight you won.
Yeah.
But some people argue that that wasn't an elite Golovkin.
Yeah.
Obviously you came off your ban and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's the case. But my point is...
And there's speculation around the Mexican beef situation even when he won, even with the draw. Do you know what I mean? So if you're not cycling on and off of the tainted beef, who knows? Do you know what I mean? Because the things of him have always been his punch power and his chin. Do you know what I mean? He does have an unbreakable chin. Do you know what I mean? And
unbreakable. Unbreakable chin.
Yeah. Because he's been hit by Kovalev, he's been hit by Bivol, so...
He's been hit by big punches, and that's one thing I will agree. There's nothing Crawford can hit him with that's gonna disturb him. Nothing.
He's not great at coming forwards, but in terms of walking forwards, he's got that Mexican style, high guard, walk forwards and break his opponent down. Can Crawford hit him with anything that at least, if you can't hurt the man, slows him down from coming forwards?
No.
Because how much confidence, this is what I'm wondering. I back Crawford to win, but I'm concerned about how much, if he just has no respect whatsoever, how much he can just walk through everything.
Canelo can walk through Crawford. He can and will. The only thing that's going to save him is his feet.
Yeah.
Bivol, who throws punches and he was able
his
to
high
keep,
volume and hits
and he was
fairly
able
hard
to
as well.
keep Beterbiev off him at stages in the fight, couldn't keep Canelo off him.
Yeah.
What Bivol done, which is going to get to like keys to victory, was he picked and chose his moments for when he literally held his feet and just used his high guard and when he was on his back. Because what he knew was, once I get into the second half of the fight, you have nothing on me.
Yep.
You have nothing on me. And this is the same thing with Canelo, with Crawford. That first half of that fight, bro, it's going to be the hardest fight Crawford's ever had in his life. That first 5 rounds is going to be the hardest 5 rounds you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
Because Canelo's punch power, Canelo's relentless pressure, because I think he's going to be the best version of Canelo that we've seen in the last 2 years.
Yeah, especially in that
those
first 5 rounds. Yeah.
His reflexes and his speed.
Well, Canelo will want to get the fight over and done with as quickly as possible if he can. He doesn't want 12 rounds against Crawford.
Of course not. Of course not. But that's Crawford's game plan. But before I even get into tactics and who I think is going to win and how they win and all that, what I want to talk about is the actual fight itself.
Yeah.
What do you think of... Firstly, do you think this is a good fight for boxing?
I mean, it's good in terms of the numbers and the viewers that it's going to pull in, and then boxing, no matter how healthy the sport is, no matter how much profit is driving, we're always looking for more numbers, we're always looking for more profit. But I'm really torn as to how much this is good for boxing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm torn as well.
Because it's good from a financial perspective, and we're all whores for the finances, but is it good? No. We have an elite 168 who has had to go all the way down to 147. I know he had one fight at 154, but a natural 147 to go and find a fight. You know, if this was Tank, when Tank did this with Roach and it was one weight class difference, we shitted on Tank. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think that we shit on Canelo enough for not having there's fights out there. There's no fights out there now at 168, but that's because there were, and he stalled them out of the division.
The reason why I would say it's slightly different is because we weren't on Roach's journey. We got on Crawford's journey.
I don't care about that. That's emotional nonsense. The fact that we weren't on Roach's journey is our fault. Do you know what I mean?
The reason why I'm saying that is because Canelo didn't want the fight. Canelo didn't want the Crawford fight.
What fight did he want?
That's a good question.
I think he does want the Crawford fight.
He wants it now, but at the time he was asked about it, he's like, bro, Crawford's a 54. But because Crawford said he can make 68, Turkey was the one who was encouraging this fight.
Yeah.
Turkey was the one that put the money up, and like you said,
as far as I'm concerned, Canelo was happy with the fight because at no point did I see him chasing David Morrell, and no point do I see him chasing David Benavidez. So this was always going to happen. You can say publicly what you want to say, but you're running out of options because you're stalling guys out and making them go up in weight. So this is the fight that you wanted. Or at least this is the fight you wanted more than you wanted David Benavidez.
Of course.
Because the opportunity was there to fight David Benavidez, you never fought him. Do you know what I mean? There are still people at 168 that you could have fought, or 175 that you could have fought that you've chosen not to. So even if this isn't the fight that you wanted, this is the fight you wanted more than any of the other fights.
I hear that. No, I mean, obviously, as you said, we're all horse for the money, and it's the biggest cash grab in it. But do you think it sets a bad precedent?
I don't think it sets a bad precedent because bad precedent has been set before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we've seen Roy Jones go up to heavyweight and win a world title.
Do you know what I mean?
We've seen Canelo's fight against Kovalev wasn't for a title. It was for a world title.
75.
Do you know what I mean? We've seen Canelo go up to 175 and win a world title there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, bad precedent has been set for a long, long time. You know, so we got Mike Tyson and Mayweather having an exhibition. There's no rules in boxing. There's no rules. There's no. When Turkey come in, people thought he's going to bring more order. He's going to bring more money, but he's not going to bring more order. To the sport. The sport is the same.
I'm slightly different to you in the sense that I do feel like it's one of those ones where it's a one-off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like it's
Crawford's gonna try and campaign there.
Yeah, like it's just a one-off fight, and it's like a spectacular opportunity for Crawford. And if he does win, he'll go down as one of the greatest fighters in history.
Yeah.
Because he's now he'll be the first fighter in history to be a free-weight undisputed champion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's flipping crazy.
And I mean, even then, it's like a fraudulent thing because Canelo shouldn't even be undisputed anyway.
No, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like, even that is like, you know, he shouldn't be. Crawford should not be fight. It's a slap in the face to David Benavidez and many, many others that he's even getting this shot to be an undisputed at 168 when they couldn't get that fight.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not buying Canelo saying, oh, this isn't the fight I wanted. It's all down to Turkey. That's a great public narrative to spin to act like he wanted to go for killers, but I didn't see you stepping up to fight the killers when they were there.
Okay, let's just get into...
And also, like, even if he wins, he better retire, because if he does win, the next fight that Turkey's going to want to throw him in there with is going to be Hamza Shiraz. And I'm telling you here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Hamza Shiraz might end Canelo in a bad way. So
I actually think Hamza Shiraz might beat Canelo still.
That's what I'm saying. Hamza Shiraz will finish Canelo. So, so this is going to sound crazy to the Latin American babies. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, like...
I'm not even a massive fan of Hamza Shiraz. But people ask me why I think Crawford's going to win. And it's not even because of Crawford.
Yeah.
It's because of Canelo.
Canelo's very faded.
I just think Canelo is finished,
Faded,
fam.
bro. He's
I
faded.
think Canelo is finished, bro. Now, but here's my keys to victory.
The thing is, you can't say he's finished because he's
finished.
still beating guys that are top 10 guys in his division. No?
When I say finished, he's finished as an elite fighter.
He's finished as an elite fighter. That's different then, yeah.
But
that's different saying he's finished.
But even when you say he's beating top 10 guys within his division, first you have to question how much ambition some of these guys had. Did Charlo have that much ambition? No.
Skull?
Did Skull have ambition? No.
Skull went to retire.
Belanga was doing a charity media lap for losing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? This guy went on a breakfast club. He went everywhere, parading a loss. So he didn't have much ambition.
He's moving like a British boxer.
You know what I'm saying? Munguia came out. I thought he would have ambition. He ended up getting stopped in his next fight. So my point is, who is he really beating? Like, let's keep it real. Munguia's campaigned at 54 pretty much majority of his career. Munguia isn't better than Crawford. He went a distance with Canelo.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what are we actually saying here?
Yeah. That's key.
And that was 2 years ago.
If Munguia can go 12 rounds with what was the scorecard saying? Was it like a 12-0? Just 12-0.
He got battered.
But still, if Munguia can survive 12 rounds with Canelo, you've got to think that Crawford can survive 12 rounds.
Well, it depends the mindset of Crawford. This is what gets to my point of like key talking points.
Let's do the keys to victory.
Keys to victory. So for me, I was going back and forth with my brother, yeah, and he was like we were watching a video with how we think both guys should fight. For me, I actually think Crawford needs to start this fight orthodox. And I know people are going to be like, oh, why should he not start the fight southpaw? Because Canelo's best attribute is that lead left hand. Whether he throws that lead left hand to the body, which he's going to throw it to the body, and whether he throws that lead left hand to the head. What he doesn't throw as a lead is the right hook. If you're going to pivot side to side, because I don't suggest you move backwards in straight lines, if you are southpaw, your main aim is to get your right foot outside of your opponent's left foot.
We're walking into that punch.
You'll be walking into the left hand all day.
Yep.
If you have left...
Especially against a taller fighter. He loves that against a taller fighter.
If you left for left, you can side pivot to Canelo's right hand. Canelo don't lead with the right hand.
Yeah.
The most important attribute Crawford has to have, and for me, it's almost paramount, is Crawford can't rely on head movement. He has to rely on a high guard.
Do you think that he should be boxing on the move, or he should be moving, planting, landing, moving, planting, landing? Or because I feel like...
I think he has to do it in phases.
Yeah, I think he has to move, plant his feet and box in phases, because Crawford is not great, especially early, at throwing punches and moving. This is where he gets caught.
I think the first round...
And then if he gets knocked down, they will fuck him on the scorecards.
I think the first round, he has to do a Devin Haney-Williams skull. Because what it does is it sets a level of urgency in Canelo.
Yes.
And Canelo now is going to be over-aggressive, and that's what creates
I'm watching these judges. I'm watching these because you know me. I like to score my fighters for aggression and coming, but not if they're superiorly outlanded. That will always trump. This is an argument you and I always have, where you've got a technical boxer like Shakur going backwards, but you've got someone really strong coming forwards and whatever. If they're getting completely outlanded, it's got to go to the technical boxer. If there's no punches being thrown, then maybe I'll give it for aggression. But if Crawford can move and throw punches, I'm like, bro, do you know what I mean? Like he's got to be able to, if he can land while moving, or move, plant his feet, land a bit, etc., etc. Some of those low output rounds or the lower output rounds should go to him if he can land some of these punches. And I'm not sure that they will.
I'm not sure that they will, but I don't think if I'm Crawford, I worry about judges. The reason why I say that is because that will make you
Overthink.
You become over aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's where your problems are. One of Canelo's biggest strengths.
But also, just on that point, do you think how aggressive do you think that he'll be? Because he does like to stand and trade. And I don't know if that's the right plan for him.
I think he will be aggressive at points, but it all comes down to Canelo's approach. Because Canelo he starts a fight aggressive and he likes to start on the front foot.
Yeah.
I don't think Crawford is going to be aggressive early. I think Crawford's going to become aggressive once he realizes Canelo's so easy to hit.
Yeah.
And that's when you start to get greedy. It's for Crawford to say, you know what? I'm just going to box off the back foot and take what I get. Take what I get. I know I can land more on you, but take what I get. Because one thing Canelo does, and I think is his biggest strength, is this is what I was saying, you can't rely on head movement. You have to use your high guard. It's because Canelo does this thing where he throws shots to where you move your head to.
Yeah.
He doesn't like, he can change the angle of a shot after even throwing the shot. Yeah. Like if you look at the way
he carries power quite well.
Like if you look at the way he dropped Belanga, that shot is angled to the body, drops his hands, bang to the head. He done the same thing when he knocked out.
I don't know if that shot was changing mid. I think that's a feint though. He does that a lot. He's feinting to the body, and once you bite on that body language, he's going up. But it's mechanically, it was always going to there.
But he done it when he fought Billy Joe Saunders and broke his eye socket.
Yeah.
He literally anticipated where Billy Joe Saunders was going to move his head to, and just change the angle with the shot. Yeah. Bang, uppercut, done. That's what I'm saying. If you fight Canelo, you can't rely on head movement. You literally have to rely on your ability to absorb shots. But when you ask what should Crawford do, Crawford literally has to rely on his lateral movement. That's literally his main form of defense. Yeah. He's going to have to catch punches, but Canelo will punch through your guard. Yeah. And that's one thing he does terrific. You can't hold your feet or stand still. You're going to have to keep using lateral movement.
How much is Crawford's body going to be able to withstand 12 rounds?
That's the question. That's why the fight is an entertaining fight.
Because people are saying that he walks around 180, 185 anyway. So what he's going to do is just not boil down.
That's what I said he should do.
Yeah, not boil down as much as he would normally boil down.
The weigh-in's going to
because he seems confident. He's not a stupid person, Crawford. He's a very intelligent fighter. You know, Usyk thinks he's the best fighter in the world. He's a very, very intelligent fighter. He will know whether 168 is too far for him or not. And I don't know how
all the time, you know. Some men don't know that they're more. Yeah. That the greater the man, the more they're unaware of their mortality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Napoleon.
Facts. Yeah. I was thinking of Napoleon when I said that. I was thinking of Napoleon when I said that. You know, the greater the man, the more they, you know what I'm saying, the more...
What's the keys to victory for Canelo then? Because he's got that lead left hand. He's still got one of the best left hands in boxing.
I think Canelo has to actually not try and knock Crawford out.
For the first 3 or 4.
I feel like Canelo literally needs to try and almost box Crawford early. Because for me, if you try to go and knock, because he doesn't have the ability to go through the gears, You don't have nothing in reserve.
I would agree also from a tactical perspective and from like an intelligence perspective. You don't want to show him everything that you've got too early and then he downloads the data and then he's able to move against you. You need in round 7 and 8 and 9 to be throwing something different to what you threw in round 3 and 4. So he doesn't even know it's coming.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? You might set traps with jab to the body, jab to the body, jab to the body. Then when he drops that guard, you go for but you got to time that right because you might have 2, 3, maybe 4 opportunities max across the 12 rounds, but you ain't getting too many opportunities.
Also, Canelo needs to invest a lot in the body early.
Yeah.
Canelo needs to literally, he does this thing where he tries to punch people's arms and like, for me, all your shots need to be to the body.
Yeah.
All your shots need to be to the body. And probably the most important thing is try and catch Crawford in exchanges.
Yeah.
If Crawford feels like you're giving up ground, he will take that ground and move forward. And that's where you can strike. Because Crawford gets caught in exchanges. He's been caught in exchanges his whole career. And sometimes he gets, like, Crawford isn't this impeccable defensive fighter. Like, he's not, but his mindset can change to that.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit him with something on his arms and he's like, rotted, that's some power. He might just be overly negative.
Yeah.
And then that makes it even harder for you to, you know what I'm saying? So you have to almost pick your punches. Because I remember, like, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler, and I know I wasn't alive then, so before you say, oh, I wasn't alive, Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't known to be a runner and a mover around the ring. He was a boxer puncher. But in that fight, he just ran. He boxed on the outside the whole entire fight. And it was because of the specific fight itself. And I'm like, Crawford might not be going into the fight with that mindset. He might be going into the fight with a mindset to fight and punch and box and move at different times. However, if he gets hit with a shot and think, fuck this, bro, this power's a bit too much.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's gonna be negative. And then that makes your window of opportunity go from here to there.
Yeah.
So you almost have to pick your punches. Like, don't just throw punches and hit arms and legs, because at some stage, arms and shoulders and back, and then be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wear him down. Because what you're gonna see is a William Skull performance again. And then you didn't even get the chance to hit William Skull's arm. Yeah. You were hitting the ropes and flipping. This guy was putting his hands up like he was getting arrested. Like,
I got a question then. One final question before we move on to discuss the Inoue fight. And again, we are going to be live.
Oh yeah, we're live. The link for both lives are in the description.
Yeah, so click on the link, jump on the schedule, be ready. We're going to be live for, I don't know how much the card we're going to be live for, because the card kind of meaty, but we'll be live. Do you know what I'm saying? For both the Inoue fight and the Canelo Crawford fight. So make sure that you're there. Canelo, I thought about before Usyk fought Dubois, I said, is there a world where we see Tyson Fury versus Wilder 2? It's different because it was a rematch. Fury had felt Tyson's power. He walked forward and he was able to...
Fury had felt whose power?
Fury had felt Wilder's power. He was knocked down in that first fight, but then, you know, he was able to just come through. And I don't think it's because he didn't respect the power. He did, but the fear factor was gone. Then I went to see Usyk and Dubois live. Man was there live at Wembley. And saw a very similar thing. Again, slightly different because it was a rematch, but it was a smaller guy stepping up, fighting a bigger guy. Usyk's not known as a great puncher, especially not the heavyweight division, but he's a great boxer, but who can punch. Is there any way that we see Crawford testing Canelo's chin?
Nope.
Not in terms of power, but in terms of volume.
Nope.
Because I've seen Canelo.
Nope.
I've seen Canelo hit with big singles from Danny Jacobs and from Golovkin and Kovalev and Callum Smith, but not really worked on a consistent basis.
There is nothing
at all.
Nothing Canelo can do Crawford can do offensively that's going to cause Canelo any upset in terms of power.
Fair.
Nothing. And you know, the maddest thing is, Canelo was sparring Boots, yeah? And obviously, people were saying that was good preparation for Crawford. And it is good preparation for Crawford. But one thing that dawned on me more than anything is the fact that I actually feel like Canelo overrates Crawford. And I'll tell you why. When Canelo fought Munguia, Berlanga and all of those guys, he knew he was going to win. But more importantly, he knew that they knew he was going to win.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knew that, bro, I'm going to win this
For any
fight,
of those
bro.
guys, survival was a W.
Facts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? He knew that.
Crawford won't take survival as a W.
Thank
we
you.
as fans would take survival 12 rounds as a W and some split decision or some close.
Yeah, of course.
We would take that as a win, but Crawford himself would not take that as a win.
He's not taking that as a win.
Yeah.
And Canelo knows that.
Yeah.
And it just dawned on me that when was the last time Canelo fought someone who he thought
It's coming to win.
is coming to win?
Caleb Plant.
I don't think so, bro. Caleb Plant in the middle of the fight said to Canelo, bro, I'm doing good, Anna. I'm doing good, right? I'm doing good. Bro, how embarrassing is that? I'm better than you thought I was. I'm good, right? You're looking for validation in the middle of the fight, bro.
Yeah.
The last person who I felt Canelo thought this about was probably...
At 168, we're taking out Bivol and...
No, the reason why I'm not taking out Bivol is because I felt like he didn't believe Bivol neither. Because Bivol was very... Remember, Mexican culture, they don't really understand Russians. Bivol was very humble in that fight. So,
Was that not long after the Craig Richards fight?
It was the next fight after Craig Richards.
So he got the softest version of Bivol.
So Bivol, he probably thinks Bivol's not coming to... If he felt Bivol was going to win, he wouldn't have taken the fight in the first place.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't... The last person was probably Floyd. And I don't know how much that affects Canelo.
Triple
Maybe
G.
Golovkin. It's Golovkin.
Triple G, yeah.
Golovkin. So we'll see. I don't know though. We'll see.
Do you think that makes Canelo better or worse?
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, when Crawford fights...
He's been in cruise control for so much of his career.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just been cruising.
Crawford, he's always been in the same position.
Yeah.
Even when he fought people like Postal, he was in this position.
Yeah.
Because he's just naturally been written off.
Yeah.
Like, even when he fought Spence. I just feel like we're going to get the best version of Crawford.
We will, because also Crawford, this is the first time Crawford is not... focusing on maybe the Madrimov fight, but he's not focusing on promotional stuff that kind of stuff. He's always been trying to promote, and he's battling his promoters, paying his way out of his contract. He's dealing with all this backroom
This is
stuff.
his first time.
But like he can just focus on the fight. It's the biggest promotional company in the world that's promoting him right now.
Can we just touch on one thing as well? Because you brought it up, and I felt like we didn't touch on it. That's probably the biggest advice I would give him. What you said, which is. It's too late now, but I hope what he's done in preparation to this fight is you've literally just gone, I am not going to worry about making weight. I'm just going to fight at my natural weight. So if I normally have to make 154, 147, I'm probably fighting at 68, 70. Okay, maybe I might put an additional 5 pounds, maybe functionally, so I might be fighting at 75. The only thing is I don't have to worry about shrinking down to 54 or 47. That is probably the most advice I could give you. Because when I was in Vegas, Crawford struggled to make 47. He struggled to make 47.
That's why he moved up to 47.
That's why he moved up to 54. He didn't struggle to make 54. But my point is, when you have to make weight and the burden of making weight is off your shoulders, I don't know. A
lot of his timing as well. We saw Chris Eubank obviously missing weight by 1 pound or half a pound or something. Do you mean just to time it right? That could be 6 hours difference.
Of course, I don't even want that to be in your mind.
Yeah.
It should only be about this
Boxing.
is the game plan. This is how I win. And a lot of people say, "Oh, is it gonna make you absorb like punches better, putting on weight?" I don't know. Maybe it might not. But one thing we definitely do know is when you cut weight, it ruins recovery.
Yeah.
It ruins recovery. So if you get hurt, if you get damaged, if you get dropped, which he might get dropped in a fight, that cutting of weight, what you've had to do before, it makes it all the much harder. That's why if you look at Crawford, he was rocked by Gamboa. He was dropped by Kavalauskas. He got hit with some big shots by Madrimov, who can punch, and never once looked like he was hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? When you don't have to worry about, whereas you look at Chris Eubank, he was known for having a great chin, but then got knocked out by Liam Smith. Worrying about rehydration. When you don't have to worry about that, your recovery is so much better.
Especially when you've gone up and then have to come back down.
Facts.
Again. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be live Saturday night, so make sure that you're here, man. It's going to be madness. It's going to be absolutely
Drop
madness.
your predictions for the fight. If we're wrong, we're wrong.
Final predictions.
Crawford points.
I'm getting Crawford points as well.
Crawford points. Or Canelo robbery.
No, I actually think if I could put Canelo robbery at the bookies, that's probably what I would put. That's what I would put money on.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'd put money on. Because we already know that any close... It's like when you're fighting Canelo, every one of his... It's like fighting a boss on a video game. Every one of his punches counts for 5 of yours. So if I jab, slip, jab, cross, and you land one big hook, and the crowd goes, ah! I mean, that's it. That's you around.
Bill had to win 10 rounds to get 7-5 on the scorecards. Yeah. One of the judges scored Mayweather versus Canelo a draw. And that's Mayweather.
And look, and Canelo thinks he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's never argued that he won that fight. So you know what I mean? That's gonna be the issue. So yeah, he's gonna have to fight a near perfect fight, Crawford. But
I think Canelo has to as well.
Yes.
I think Canelo has to as well.
They both have to be the best versions of themselves, and that's why this fight is so compelling. And someone else who's going to have to be the best version of himself is Inoue, because boy, like you said, his last fight was meant to be a gimme fight. That was against Cardenas. He was dropped against Cardenas.
Fam, I'm not going to lie, yeah. Round of applause to Inoue. Because there was a lot of talk about whether Inoue was ducking this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of talk. I know Eddie Hearn done
when we
that
talk
famous...
about this, when we talk about like warrior spirit, this is what we're talking about.
Facts.
That like certain people have it and certain people don't. Some people, you and I had an argument before about whether or not people go into boxing to be rich. I said they didn't. You said that they did. But you're more versed in American boxing. I'm probably more versed in British boxing. I guess there's more money in American boxing. Yeah. So you know, you walk into a British boxing gym, you're probably not going to get rich. America's a little bit different. But you know that warrior spirit where, if Darren Till says, I'll smash up Carl Froch, it's not only the money, it's bugging Carl Froch. It will keep him up late at night. It will bug him because he's a fighter.
The reason why that's such a wise statement is because Inoue is going to make money in Japan fighting anyone.
Yes.
He's going to fight anyone.
Yeah.
And Akhmadaliev's name isn't big enough to say, well, he's Bivol's sparring partner. That's the biggest, not sparring partner, but he's in the Bivol camp. Yeah. So that's the only selling factor. Eddie Hearn has been trying to make this fight for time. But because Akhmadaliev doesn't generate enough money, they ain't going to put the money up. Inoue himself said, you know what, Bunny, I'll fight this dude.
Because he's not having no one say...
Facts. Yeah. Because for me...
It's a catch-22. Like, would you rather lose and have been defeated, but have that great resume that you didn't duck no one in your time, or you go undefeated, people go, well, you didn't fight this guy.
But guess what? But guess what, though? The reason why I rate Inoue even more is because it's not even like the general man would say, oh, you didn't fight Akhmadaliev.
Yeah.
Who's actually, unless you go...
Hardcore boxing fans might say that.
But who's really saying, oh, you didn't fight Akhmadaliev? But anyone who does know Akhmadaliev knows this fight's a madness, bro. Yeah. I have to give Inoue so much credit. Yeah. And with all that being said, and I've watched both of them fight so much, this is probably going to be Inoue's toughest fight, bro. Yeah. Because it's the first guy I actually genuinely believe that you can't like, there's certain mechanics that you rely on. You can't rely on this. Like, he
can't get off the canvas multiple times against Akhmadaliev, I don't feel like.
No.
You can maybe get off the canvas once.
You can't be greedy against Akhmadaliev neither. Yeah. There's a way in which you beat Akhmadaliev. But the mistakes that I've seen you make recently, even the mistakes...
You can't be behind on the scorecards and Fabio Wardley one bang.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to get you out of trouble.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. Mm-hmm. And I know Inoue fans are going to hate me for saying this. Mm-hmm. There is no version of Inoue that stops Akhmadaliev. Akhmadaliev ain't getting stopped. You ain't stopping him, bro. You ain't stopping him, bro. You're not stopping Akhmadaliev. So I am now going to have to see a completely different version of Inoue. Because for me, Inoue's got two key mistakes. And the reason why they're going to be exposed in this fight, one of them is because when he lands punches, he becomes greedy.
Very greedy. Yep.
You're going to land punches against Akhmadaliev.
He's like a boxer who, like I said, he's a boxer who don't like boxing. So he wants the fight to just be finished.
Literally.
I mean, some man will just be in there all day.
I don't get paid for overtime.
Yeah. Shakur loves boxing.
Yeah, facts.
Every fight's 12 rounds. He loves boxing.
Yeah, facts. I love this.
Some man don't like boxing.
I want to go home to the wife and kids.
100%.
Let's get Tony Bellew.
Yes.
Let's get this over and done with. And you're going to land some big punches in this fight. And the more you land, and the easier that you land them, the more you're going to want to hold your feet. And that's where you're going to be in problems. Because if Akhmadaliev hits you, you might not get up, bro.
Yeah.
This guy is actually the only person who
think single crack harder than Inoue?
No. But he single cracks harder than Cardenas.
Yeah, got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Cardenas put you on your back, bro.
Yeah.
And he put you.
But he was always with Inoue. He's caught in the motion though. A lot of the flash knockdown.
Facts. Because you were holding your feet too long. Yeah. Just like he got dropped against Lewis Neri.
Yeah.
Lewis Neri dropped you,
yeah.
again holding your feet too long.
Yeah.
You will be in the exact same position against Akhmadaliev. You want to know why? Because he's faster and he's way more explosive.
Yeah.
And he's going to be able to land shots. But guess what? When that counter comes, this isn't a case of you being able to go on, take a knee, look at the referee and get up. This might be a case of you take a knee because that's why I was so worried about when Inoue fought Tank. Because for me, I'm like, once Tank hits you, there isn't looking at the ref, let's count.
Standing 8 count.
There's none of that. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying with Akhmadaliev is a problem is because these Eastern European, these men from them parts of the world, bro, they don't give you no emotion, bro. They don't get lost in the lights or none of that.
They're gala more emotional than they are.
Facts.
Yeah.
They're gelling
far.
Bro, and sometimes they're gelling even emotional neither.
Yeah. Them man are sharks, man.
Sharks,
them
bro.
Russian man are sharks, bro. It's just nothing. Nothing.
I don't know if Akhmadaliev's gonna win this fight. It is a great fight though.
It is a great fight.
It's a great fight. It is a great fight.
I just struggle to see Inoue not stopping someone. Although he's gone to points before.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just so used to seeing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm so used. It's almost like watching. It's almost like how the average fan looks at Canelo. They're so used to him winning that they can't see a world where he don't win.
I can see.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I think he wins. I think Inoue wins and I'll tell you why I think he wins because he's way more active than Akhmadaliev. He's way more explosive. He's got way more speed. His feet is much quicker.
But like we're saying about Crawford versus Canelo, he's got to be very precise.
100%, you can't be greedy.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Why I'm even, and I'm kind of dominating this conversation, so.
No, that's fine.
But why I'm even more like so intrigued by this fight is because obviously Akhmadaliev has been calling this guy a duck. You're ducking me. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to actually take this fight. I don't know if Inoue is happy to win this fight on points, bro.
Yeah.
You know when someone's been chatting shit, yeah? I'm going to show you. Like, if you win this fight close on points, I feel like it still kind of still proves Akhmadaliev's point a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You've never gone you haven't been gone the distance in this weight class.
Yeah.
So you know what? The fact that we went the distance proves that you were ducking me.
Yeah.
If I knock you out, it's like, bro, who was I ducking? Do you not see it that way?
Yeah, and Inoue's got that kind of ego as well. It might actually help him to be hit with something solid fairly early to understand the respect, even if it's on the arms, even if it's a glancing blow, which normally does happen to him, to be fair, to just get him a little buzz to wake him up and realise that he can't fuck about. How
much of this fight do you think? And I wonder if Eddie Hearn's going to be there.
And if it goes to points, then Inoue wins.
Yeah, probably.
He's in Japan. Yeah. It's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough.
Oh my god. But
they won't get out of the building alive if
I wonder if Eddie Hearn's going to be there. But I was going to ask you, what do you think about the Japan thing? Do you think that plays a factor in either fighter's performance?
Not for Inoue. No, not really, because Inoue's fought at home plenty of times. He's fought on the road plenty of times.
No, but if he doesn't get the knockout,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think his points victory was at home. Was in Japan, was it?
He fought Nonito Dene. That was in Japan. Yeah.
Did it go to points?
Yeah, the first fight.
The first one went to points. And that was in Japan. Do you know what I mean?
That was a great fight. Though.
Yeah, 100%. So he's always entertaining. He's not going to William Sculler performance. He's always going to be entertaining. But yeah, I think that he's just, again, once he feels that power, I think that he'll adjust his mindset to let me get the win. Because but I don't think he's going to get.
When he was at 18 and he was moving to 22. Like, obviously, I wanted Stephen Fulton to win and all of that. But stylistically, I've always said, Akhmadaliev is probably the worst fight for you.
Yeah.
Because I always think people who go forward and are naturally aggressive fighters, I think the Eastern European style, the Soviet style, is almost the worst thing for them.
Yes, it's tailor-made for that.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's tailor-made for that. Like, they're not like British who are...
But they're very physically strong as well, the Eastern Europeans. So it's like... I watched the whole video. I think I sent it to you, but it was a whole video with a different style, different styles of training.
I think Akhmadaliev's from Uzbek, but obviously it's still the Soviet style.
Yeah,
so go on.
But yeah, I watched the whole video on the Soviet style and how it doesn't really relate to Inoue, but how in the West we're very focused on numbers, and so they really get into, especially Americans, how tall I am, my reach, how much I bench, all of these types of numbers things. Where they were saying in the Soviet style, they focus much more on the elasticity of your body, the movement of your body, yoga.
That video was amazing.
Yeah, and that video
was actually amazing.
That type of thing, like these guys are not. You look at Usyk's a perfect example. Doesn't fight exactly the Uzbek style, but fights a similar style. He's not a small, weak person. Every time Usyk goes into a boxing match with one of our Western boxers or British boxers, we say, well, Daniel Dubois is way bigger and hits harder. AJ's way bigger and hits harder. Tyson Fury's way bigger, probably hits harder. Tyson Fury was rocked and nearly knocked out, and Daniel Dubois got absolutely walked through, because Usyk is still a big, strong man, but that's not what he's presenting to the world. Facts. And same as with Akhmadaliev, he's just as, if him and Inoue go to the gym, he's just as strong as Inoue.
But maybe stronger.
Probably stronger, but that's not what he's presenting. That's not what he's. Whereas Mexicans, they're going to lead with their fucking cojones.
Yeah, facts.
Canelo's like, I hit hard and that's what I present. I'm going to come and hit you hard. The Eastern European style with the Uzbek style is completely
different. And I watched that video, and I don't know where the video is or where you had that. That was an amazing video, because it speaks about how, and I've spent time in Eastern Europe, in the gyms.
Not to make it political, part of that's down to capitalism, but different conversation.
Yeah, but if you look at the way that these guys train, and I guess this is a completely different video, but the way how they focus on specific isolated things, I think that is.
If they get somebody that's got the natural dimensions to be a big, strong man, they don't need to focus on making you bigger and stronger. They make you more well-rounded.
Literally.
In Britain, if you are a big, strong, if you've got one attribute, which is your power, we're going to really focus on your power and make you more powerful and more powerful and more powerful. That's why Anthony Yard goes to Russia and all he can rely on is his power. And Beterbiev said Anthony Yard's the single biggest hitter that he's come across, but Beterbiev has more in his toolkit.
Facts. You look at someone like Beterbiev who's knocked everybody out, and one of your biggest arguments in lead up to the fight was he doesn't rely on power.
No.
He does not rely on power.
And he's one of the hardest punchers in the world, but he still doesn't rely on power.
Literally. It doesn't. So you're right.
It goes against everything that we think of in Britain and arguably in the West as well, but there you go. But we're going to be live for that. Well, I say we. Shane's going to be live for that.
Yeah, I'm going to be live for that fight. But I'll be honest with you. Whenever we do a new video, we always get the people pulling up. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah. If you've reached this stage in the video, don't hate us because we think it's going to be a competitive fight. I'm commending Inoue for even taking it, because I'll be honest, he's not even going to get credit for this win. Yeah. He's going to get credit from me, but the major wide audience is going to say, who's Akhmadaliev?
Well, first things first, he's got to win.
He's got to win.
You know what I mean? And another thing that Shane's going to be live for this weekend is the Manchester Derby. Talk to me. Is your guy still going to be manager?
Yeah, he's going to be manager.
He wouldn't have gone in the... Did you think he was going to get sacked in the international break?
If he lost to Bournemouth, when it was 2-0...
Oh, is that where you guys scumbag the 3-2?
Yeah. When it was it 2-0? Were we 2-0 down? I think it was 2-0. Yeah, when it was 2-0.
Stupid penalty. Feels like so long ago.
When it was 2-0, I was like, yeah, where he's gonna get fired. But obviously he managed to pull the winner. But I'll say this though. Derbies never ever go the way I think they go.
And you're both playing shit. Normally, Man City, you lot have a reasonable record against Man City in their dominant period, but normally Man City are smoking teams, and then you lot upset the apple cart, and we're like, oh, Man United, every week, Man United's going to get smashed this time against Man City, and then you upset it.
Fact, I remember, was it last season or one of the seasons, maybe it might have been last season, when we were in a real rough patch. And we pulled out a good performance against Man City. Yeah. Or a good performance against Liverpool, for example. Yeah. So sometimes we do it, innit? But I don't think...
But Man City themselves are playing kind of whack at the moment as well.
True.
And you're going to be without Cunha, I still think.
Cunha's still out.
How long's he out for?
I don't even remember, but Cunha's out. I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference.
He's your best player. It's going to make a difference.
No.
Who's this so far this season? Who's performed better than Cunha? For you guys. He's literally being the best player.
If you're
Bruno, because he takes pens. Okay.
No. I'd probably say consistently this season our best player has probably been Dogu.
Fair enough, but Cunha's the best player.
Offensively, Cunha has been.
It's between Cunha and Dogu.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or Maguire.
He doesn't even start.
No, but when you come...
No, we're not doing this. I told you, Alex, over a year ago that Maguire is your best attacker.
No, but the reason why I'm saying that is because in relation to this game, at some stage, Maguire's going to come on the pitch and be effective.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? At some
You're
stage.
smirking. I told you he's good. I told you he's good. Do you know, it took you, but I think from an attacking perspective, Cunha's been you lot's best player. Do you know what I mean? You don't really want to be playing Xerxes. He's got Cunha can hold the ball. He's got the legs to travel. He's creative as well. He's got a bit of arrogance about him.
The biggest issue is we have no when we obviously
you're probably going to start with Mount.
We're going to play the front three, and the front three is going to be Mount,
Shesko. Do you think Shesko start?
Sesko and Mbuemo.
Yes.
And there is no cohesion amongst those three. No. There's none.
They all play very different types of football.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like, Mount's looking to play interchange and press high up the field. Sesko don't press.
Yeah, Sesko wants the ball in behind and he can just whack it and then...
And then Mbuemo looks to cut in and shoot. But then we got a 6'7" striker who wants balls whipped in.
Yeah.
And then we play a wing back who don't cross because he's left-footed in Diallo. So I don't actually see
and Dorgu's biggest weakness as a player is his crossing ability. He's brilliant at winning the ball, brilliant at driving forwards. If he gets to the byline, he cuts it back across the 18-yard box, that's fine. But if he has to whip across it, he can't do it.
He's actually better at shooting.
Yeah, he can't. I've never seen. He's got all the makings, but he can't cross them. He's just an awful crosser on the ball.
Yeah, he just does that drill pass across the floor like old school Antonio Valencia.
Yeah.
He ain't got that techers to whip across him, so I don't see how we feed any of our strikers.
And you got Haaland. You see, Haaland scored 5 for Norway the other day. They fucking brutalised. I don't know who did, Moldova or something like that.
To be fair, that doesn't really make a difference.
No,
you know why it doesn't make a difference to me? Because there's not a. I think you're gonna agree with this as well. There's not a scoreline that will shock me. Yeah. If we get battered, I wouldn't be surprised by
What time's kickoff?
At 4:30.
I'm gonna be watching it at the wedding. I'm gonna be at a wedding.
If we get battered, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But guess what? If we win, I wouldn't be surprised neither.
Do your match reaction as well, you know?
Yeah.
Stay on the stream with you.
It's money, innit?
Lex should be on it as well.
He's in it at the wedding?
No, different friendship group.
Didn't you say he was going to a wedding?
That's in October.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. That's a different wedding. But I think this is the one he said he could do.
I can't remember.
Lex is a side man anyway. He said, no, let me do all the Man United streams. I sent him 10 streams and sent me one. He goes, I can make one of them.
I'm doing this stream. Obviously, you guys are going to have to show me mad love because I would have done 3 streams back to back to back.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
There was boxing in the UK as well, and I was like, I can't. I think there's some boxing.
Oh, Crocker vs. Donovan for the IBF welterweight
I wouldn't have minded doing it, but I might have to nap, you know.
I'm not doing that fight. It's a bit. The maddest thing is, it's for Jerome Anderson.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it's a decent sized fight. It's the kind of fight I want to be live for. But yeah, I might do it. I don't know.
Bro, let me know if I set up the live.
I'm gonna be so tired.
Man United versus. We forgot that we were doing a video. Man United versus Man City. Who do you think's winning the game?
Man City's just a better team, isn't it? Do you mean it's Pep's Man City, but they
we're above them in the league though.
We're 3 games in, G.
No, but when you look at the way we've played across the first 3 games. I would make the argument. No, I don't know.
You could make the argument.
No, I'm lying.
Grimsby and all that.
I was going to say we might have played better football, but then I realised.
But the thing is, even if you have, let's take there's moments that you've played better football, 100%. But you're so inconsistent. I don't know what I'm going to get, and I feel more confident back in the team that I know what I'm going to get. Even if I know I'm going to get a 7 out of 10 from City, at least I know that's what I'm going to get. Whereas with United, we could get a 9 out of 10 performance. We could get a 3 out of 10 performance. We really don't know. Man United still feel like a boxer. They feel like Daniel Dubois. They feel like there's some talent there, but if the game's too hard, they might just leave it. Yeah. Whereas if the game's too hard, Man City will keep fighting. And I know that Man United fans will argue because you scored the 3-2 against Bournemouth or whatever. But generally speaking, that's how I feel.
It's funny because there was times where I was thinking, wow, these players are just not playing for him. When we were losing to Grimsby, I was like, yeah, these guys aren't playing for him.
Grimsby played, but like Lex said, Grimsby played good football allegedly. So,
but my point is, the fact that we've come back from 2 goals down twice in 2 games in a row.
Yep.
I'm now thinking you're actually showing character and spirit, but you just don't have the ability.
Yeah.
Because something is like, I don't know, bro. I genuinely don't know.
Who's your midfield? There's still problems in the midfield. Kobe Mainoo wanted to leave. They wouldn't let him leave.
He's not going to play, though. The midfield's going to be Casemiro and Bruno.
Not letting a player of that talent leave on loan, but then not playing.
I don't know why he never went on loan.
Is criminal.
I don't know why he never went on loan. I thought he was going to go Brighton.
There's still a lot wrong there. There's still a lot wrong. And it's one of them ones, Man United are still in the same position they've been for years, where they need to win games to cover up all the things that are wrong at the club. And every time you win a game, the endorphins just cover up the problems.
You know what though? Not anymore though. Not anymore. Still, because we're not going in the right direction. If we beat Man City though, that's 2 games in a row, 2 wins in a row. So
it's mad that United are celebrating 2 wins in a row in the Premier League. That's
not mad, bro. Mad. We finished 15th last season.
That is mad.
How is that mad? We finished 15th last season. Who you lot playing this week?
Nottingham Forest, 12:30 kickoff. I'm live.
Home or away?
I think away.
It's going to be a tough
Big
game.
Ange, just Big Ange.
Big Ange. Tough game still.
It will be a tough game.
New manager bounce.
Well. Yeah, we have a shocking record against new managers.
You have a shocking record against
We've been playing
Nottingham
shit
Forest.
football. We've just been playing shit football anyway.
Did you not lose to Nottingham Forest last season?
It's my dad's team as well, Forest.
Your dad supports Nottingham Forest?
Does, yeah.
Why?
The first £1 million player was Trevor Francis, and he's my dad's favourite player, and our family name is Francis. That's literally the reason.
Fair enough.
That's first £1 million player in British football. That's literally the reason.
And obviously other reasons as well.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah.
They're going to be live for that game.
Yeah, we're going to be live I'm going to be live early I'm going live 12:15 for Arsenal. So make sure you come check that out. Then we're going to be live. I might be live in the evening for Donovan versus Crocker. Then I'm going to be live like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for Canelo versus Crawford.
I'm not going to lie.
Then we're going to be live at midday-ish for Inoue. And then we're going to be live again at 4:30 on Sunday for the Manchester derby.
I'm not going to lie. If you are doing Crocker versus Donovan, I might come. If we are doing it, I might go to reach your yard early. Go live for that.
They want nap.
No, because you know what? I actually want to be on live for Canelo Crawford relatively early.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 o'clock.
Fair enough. I'm going to save up some calories so I can order pizza or something. Cause
like you personally can go sleep.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home and I go, because I'm not working, when I'm at home, it's peak. Like that middle ground. That middle ground. I'd rather be live in it. And if I'm with you, then it's easier. If I'm at yard, it's hard, bro. And that undercard is shit.
I might have to drive you home in the morning. So see if I'm awake. But yeah, that's the show. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be live. It's all kicking off. I'll tell you what other lives we've got coming up as well. Let me go for the little Eddie Hearn rundown that I do. So yeah, I already said Arsenal, Nottingham Forest. Is that Arsenal actually? 12:30 kickoff. Then Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight of the year. Then on the 14th we've got Inoue versus Akhmadaliev. Then we've got Manchester derby. Then next week, let's see how Manchester City get on because they are coming to Arsenal. Next week, September the 21st, and then the following week, we've got Newcastle versus Arsenal as well. I haven't put the other Man United fixtures in yet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, plenty of Arsenal stuff. Going into October, we've got Arsenal versus West Ham. Then we've got Allen versus Makhmudov. We've got Jerome Boots Ennis the same night versus Lima, another doubleheader. That's October the 11th. And we've got Fulham versus Arsenal, Arsenal versus Palace on the 24th.
There was 2 fights that was announced that's missing from this as well.
No, they're on October the 25th. So on October the 25th is when we've got, I think maybe, that's when we've got Arsenal Palace at 3. And then in the evening, we've got Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley in London. Then that same night, we've got Fundura versus Thurman in Vegas. So we've got 3 double headers of very, very long nights where we're going to be live. So I need to ask Rance how he does it, honestly, because he just lives on live. But yeah, man. Plenty of live. So please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to our other channel, OnlyFacts Extra. That's where we're going to have much more controversial content and other stuff that you want to hear about. Cancelled content, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.
Love.